Well, hello, lovers. It's your girl, Brandy Iberia here, your self-love guide. Listen, y'all, we are moving right along. Congratulations for making it to week 32. It's a good number. It's absolutely a good number. Actually, and I think about it, 32 was probably one of my most memorable years. I remember that probably because for a long time I thought I was 31. I think almost that entire year I thought I was 31. So my cousin had to remind me that I was older than her, and I've always been older than her. And so I was like, you know what, you're right. Where am I going? But when I realized it, and realized how much of a wonderful year I was having, I was like, okay, you know what? Let's be more mindful. As we kind of go and grow. But we're not talking about ages, are we? We are talking about chapters or weeks. And so we are at week 32, and the week simply says, speak up. Now, isn't that interesting? Last week we had you shutting your mouth. This week it's time to speak up, and I want you to be aware of that. Just because you have a season or even a time where you're focusing on a certain way to communicate or a certain way to interact with people or to become mindful, I guess is going to be the word of choice tonight, to be more mindful of how I'm interacting and mindful of what's affecting me and how it's affecting me, and if it has something to do with what I'm saying and what I'm speaking, if it has something to do with the way that I'm listening or not listening. Right? And so that has its time and its place. And so does speaking up. Right? And so as you learn each one of these facets of you, then you'll be able to identify when the best time is to use your voice and when the best time is to be quiet. Right? So let's get into week 32. The opening quote says, "You get in life what you have the courage to ask for." What have you been watching from the sidelines? Right? Whether it's people, what they have, relationships, businesses, success, whatever that looks like to you, money. Right? Who told you that you can't have it too? Not what they have, but whatever your desire is, right? You're worthy of that too. But a lot of times we're not getting the things that we desire because we won't open our mouth when it's time to do so. So I'll read a little bit of the first chapter, of the first paragraph, and then we'll chat a little bit about it. And then I want you guys to focus on really being intentional about this week when it comes to speaking up. And it says, your voice is as important as anyone's in the room. Speak up even when your voice shakes. Ooh, I feel that already. You are worthy of being heard. If something doesn't sit right with you, say it. If you don't like your food at a restaurant, send it back. Now let me pause. Right, because I know I hate being in the restaurant with the person where everything is horrible. Everything is bad. The waitress is bad. Everything is. Now, sometimes it is, right? Sometimes it is. But if every time you sit down at a restaurant, every time you go into a store, there's a problem, maybe the problems are not the clerks or the store or the restaurant, right? Sometimes you have to do some of that inner work and self-evaluation. But don't be walked over either. Right? So it's okay for you to speak up if you order something and you're paying for it and they didn't bring it out right, with all due respect, right? You don't have to cuss anybody out. You don't have to go off. I have to check myself with that often, right? But you can have what you deserve, right? Or at least what's owed to you. That's the bare minimum. Right? And so it goes on to say, if you don't like what the coworker has to say about your outfit, let it be known. If you feel as though you have something to offer at a meeting, speak up. Now, it sounds very minuscule, I'm sure, to some people. Like, what are you talking about? What the coworker said at my job? Like, why would that matter? You have no idea how much it matters to some people. Not the outfit per se, but someone could say something about your hair, about the way you've dressed, about the way you showed up, and you laugh it off, but then you carry that weight home, right? And then that weight lines up with what you're saying about yourself. And every time your voice gets a little quieter, and every time you don't speak up, you're subconsciously telling yourself that what you have to say is not worth being heard. Now, listen, I have definitely grown to a place in my life where I'm learning that I don't have to say something all the time. I don't always have to have a snappy comeback. Sometimes I can just walk away. But what I want you to get out of this chapter is that your voice is necessary in the earth and it is worthy of being heard, right? So whatever it is, don't just fluff over it this week. If there's something that happened, I don't care if your mother said it or your father said it, I don't care if your child said it, then I need you to respond, not react. I need you to respond and say, oh, you know what, when you said that hurt my feelings. Could you not say that anymore? I don't like when you call me that. I don't really care for that. Like it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And your voice is worth being heard, right? I can't wait to hear about how you all are processing that throughout the week. Whether you're writing it in your journal or even commenting on this video in the group. Let me know how you're feeling throughout the week. I want to hear from you. Is that all right? I love you guys with the love of the Lord, and I will see you next week. Bye.